सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। Okay, so we were in the Saptanna Brahmanam, which is the fifth Brahmana of the first chapter, and we were talking about Prajapati. Prajapati being the totality of all the devatas. So Prajapati is actually Trayanna Rupa, like that Bhashyakara will say. Means he is in the form of the three annas which the jiva or the pita created for oneself, which are vak, manas and prana. So this praja, the totality of all those things, those three annas. But this Prajapati is now being presented as the one who has Shodasha Kala. Means 16 parts or digits or like that you can consider. 16 avayavas. Shodasha Kalaha means one who has 16 you can say 16 organs or parts or members, whatever. And why Prajapati is being presented like that, Bhashyakara has given the introduction already, which we have seen, only to show that Prajapati also is the result of the Pankta Karma. Okay, because the Pankta karma which has 5 factors, okay, which itself has these 5 factors, which was talked about in the last Vakya of the previous Brahmana 1417. That Pankta karma is the sadhana or the cause, and Prajapati is the effect, like that Upanishad wants to show now. So how is it showing that? It is now showing that the Prajapati also has these 5 factors. That's how it is going to show that Prajapati is the effect, because when we talk about Karana and Karya, the cause and the effect, what we say is there is an Anuvritti. Anuvritti means what? Certain features of the cause are also present in the effect. Whatever is present in the cause is also present in the effect. Therefore, we can say that this is the effect of this cause. So the Upanishad is now going to show that Prajapati also has these 5 factors. Now, how is it going to show that? That's what we have seen the meaning of the 14th Vakya here already. Sa yesha samvatsaraha Prajapatihi. So Prajapati is here shown in the form of time. Samvatsaraha is year. But year itself is made up of lunar days. So 1 year is made up of so many months, and each lunar month is 2 fortnights, correct? 2 lunar fortnights, and each fortnight is having 15 days, lunar days. Those are all called Tithi. So those 15 lunar days are considered to be 15 parts of the time itself. Here Prajapati is presented as Kala or time, and the 15 Tithis or lunar days, whether it is the waxing fortnight or waning fortnight, each Tithi represents one part or avayava or kala of Prajapati. But the Upanishad is presenting Prajapati as having 16 parts. Okay. So Upanishad itself says here, so Prajapati is Shodasha Kalaha, tasya ratrayaha eva panchadashaha kalaha. Ratrayaha means here ahoratri, both we have to take, day and night. So 15 days and nights, lunar days and nights, are the 15 parts or digits or factors, whatever, which make up Prajapati. But there is also one more, which the Upanishad says, Dhruvaiva asya shodashi kala. The 16th one is permanently there always. The other 15 are either waxing or waning, correct? They increase, then they decrease, they go away, they appear and then disappear, depending on which fortnight you are. On Amavasya day, there is nothing, correct? But still this permanent kala is there always, okay? So that is what is said here. Saratribihi eva cha puryate, apuryate, eva apuryate. So this being Chandasam, this a and puryate are actually having a separation here with cha. Then apacha kshiyate, it is there. Similarly, apakshiyate in normal classical Sanskrit, it will be apakshiyate, but in Chandasam, in Vedic Sanskrit, this prefix and the actual verb can be separated. So here, these 15 other kalas are either puryate, means they are getting filled up, or apakshiyate means they are disappearing, or they are going away. And but on the Amavasya, what happens? So saha Amavasyam ratrim etaya shodashya kalaya sarvamidam pranabrid anupravishya. So this Prajapati, through his 16th permanent part, whatever, permanent kala, Dhruva, it was said, Prajapati pervades all the living beings, sarvamidam pranabrid anupravishya, he enters. Okay. And then the next day, he is again, the second kala is born, correct? This first one is always there. So tataha pratar jayate, next day, again the prathama, dvitiya, like that, the tithi start, correct? So the Prajapati enters all the human beings on Amavasya and then is born again next day, like that Upanishad is saying. And then based on that, it is giving you a certain value. What is that? Tasmad etam ratrim pranabritaha pranam na vichhindyat. So therefore, what, since Prajapati is entering all the beings through his 16th permanent part on Amavasya, that night, Amavasya night, nobody should kill any living being, even inauspicious things like chameleons. So that is also there. Api krikalasasya yetasya eva devatayaha apachityai. Okay. Na vichindyat api krikalasasya. Even you should also not kill even take the life of even chameleon, like that it is there. And why? Because that day we want to worship Prajapati, who is in the form of the Chandra Devata and enters all the living beings. So as a form of worship and praise of this Devata, this special niyama is there, that we do not kill any living being on Amavasya. Now let us see the Bhashya of this. Ayam Trayannatma Prajapatihi Prakritaha Sa Yesha Samvatsaratmana Visheshataha Nirdishyate. So Sa Yesha Samvatsaraha, like that this Vakya starts. Bhashyakara then gives what? This Prajapati, who is in the form of 3 foods, Trayannatma. Those 3 foods are what? Vang, Manas and Prana. So at the Samashti or Adi Daivika aspect, if you look at, Prajapati is the totality of all the Devatas. The Vag, Manas and Prana were shown as Devatas, and these three Devatas put together is Prajapati now, and Prajapati is under discussion. So Prakritaha means Prajapati who is under discussion, and now he is being shown, this Prajapati is being shown specially. Saha Yeshaha Samvatsaratmana Visheshataha Nirdishyate. So Prajapati is now being revealed specially as the one who is in the form of Samvatsara or an year. Okay, Samvatsara is year, and that year itself, or the Prajapati who is in the form of year, now is again shown as the one who has Shodasha Kalaha. Shodasha Kalaha means what? Shodasha Kalaha Avayavaha Asya. It's a Bahuvri. Okay, so the one who has these 16 Kalas. And Kalaha means what? Saha Ayam Shodasha Kalaha Samvatsaraha Samvatsaratma Kala Rupaha. So by showing Prajapati as the year and the one who has these 16 Kalas, actually Prajapati is being revealed as the one who is in the form of Kala. Tasya cha Kalatmanaha Prajapatehe Ratrayaha eva Ahoratrani. So Ratrayaha means Ratrayaha, like that it is in plural. So Bhashyakara says Ratrayaha here means both day and night. Ahoratrani, he says. So the one who is in the form of time, this Prajapati. For that Prajapati, these Ratrayaha or Ahoratrani, days and nights, which are Tithis, lunar days, Titayaha, Panchadasha Kalaha. They are the 15 parts, okay, the Avayava, because Kala means Avayava, like that Bhashyakara has said here. So 15 parts of this Prajapati are these 15 Tithis in the lunar fortnight. Then what? Dhruvaiva Nitya eva Vyavastita Asya Prajapatehe Shodashanam Purani Kala. So the other 16th one is always there. These 15 are either they come and go. Okay, that is the idea. Depending on whether it is a waxing fortnight or waning fortnight. But one part or one kala alone is always there. Nitya eva Vyavastita. It is present always of this Prajapati. That is his 16th kala, and it is the Purani Kala, means it is the one which is there always and which completes the 16. And what further? What Ratribihi eva Tithibihi Kaloktabihi Apuryate cha Apakshiyate cha Pratipadat Yabihi hi Chandramaha Prajapatihi Shukla Pakshaha Apuryate Kalabihi Upachiyamana bihi Vardhate Yavat Sampurna Mandalaha Paurnamasyam. Okay, so this, so here now Bhashyakara Sa Ratribihi eva cha Puryate. So for this now he is giving the commentary. Okay, Ratribihi eva means by this Tithi only again, by the lunar days and nights, which are talked about as Kalas. Okay, this Prajapati Apuryate cha Apakshiyate. So the Prajapati, both Prajapati grows or waxes and also declines or wanes. Okay, so through these Kalas only, Prajapati in the form of moon, okay, he is being now revealed as one who waxes and wanes. Okay, Apakshiyate cha Pratipadat. So with each of this pada means each of this part, you can say each day, each lunar day, the Prajapati either gains or loses that part. Okay, Yabihi Chandramaha Prajapati. So by that only what this Chandrama or the Prajapati who is in the form of moon here. So during the Shukla Paksha, Apuryate means he now keeps on gaining, waxes with these parts, each Tithi being one part. Okay, upachiyamanabihi vardate. So he gains by accumulating this each part during the waxing fortnight. And finally, what is the limit of that? Purna mandala till the moon becomes complete, total. Yavat sampurna mandala Paurnamasyam. So during the Paurnami day, the new full moon day, till the time the moon becomes complete, Prajapati keeps growing. Similarly, what? Tabihi eva apachiyamanabihi. So similarly, the same kalas, when they leave or when they are gone, okay, then what? Kalabihi apakshiyate Krishna pakshe. During the waning fortnight, these kalas are lost. And till what time? Till the time only the permanent part is there, or permanent kala. Dhruva eka kala vyavastita yavat. Until the time during Amavasya, there is nothing is there. Moon itself you can't see, but still the permanent kala is there, alone there during Amavasya. Okay. Then what? Sab Prajapatihi Kalatma Amavasyayam Ratrim Ratrau Ya Vyavasthita Dhruva Kalokta Etaya Shodashya Kalaya Sarvamidam Pranabrit Pranijatam Anupravishya. So Bhashyakara is actually, see, in he is writing the commentary, he is actually giving the correct vibhakti, because Chandasam, again Vedic Sanskrit, does not exactly follow the grammar of classical Sanskrit. So here it is there as Amavasyam. Okay, Amavasyam is there. So Bhashyakara says Amavasyayam during seventh case means locative. So during Amavasya, Ratrim, again he makes it Ratrau, seventh case. So during the Amavasya night, Ya Vyavasthita Dhruva Kalokta. So whatever permanently which is present, correct, that kala which was talked about, with that 16th kala, Etaya Shodashya Kalaya Sarvamidam Pranabrit Pranijatam. So all this which is having life, which is all living beings essentially, Pranijatam, Anupravishya, having entered. Okay, so how does Prajapati enter? That also is given here. Okay, Bhashyakara says, Yad apaha pibati, yaccha aushadhihi ashnati, tat sarvameva oshadhyatmana sarvam vyapya. So living being means living beings have to drink water or eat something. Aushadhihi, some plants you have to eat. So because the Chandra Devata only is supposed to nourish all the plants. Okay. And even Taittiriya Upanishad also says Oshadibhyonnam. Food is only plants. Understand that. There is a deeper meaning there, because plants alone really create food. Plants only do food created only by plants. Either you directly eat the plants or you eat those who eat plants, correct? So herbivores eat plants, but they don't really create any food. They are only eating the food created by the plants. Then carnivores, omnivores eat the herbivores also. So either you eat directly the food created by the plants, or you indirectly you are still eating. In fact, one surprising thing is, lot of agriculture in the world today, they they plant and cultivate and produce so much corn. All that corn is only given to cows, and then these people are eating the cows. Okay, in fact, they cultivate more corn to feed the cows. So are all some things which are happening today. But anyway, what we understand is food means it is only from plants. in whichever way you take it. Okay, so this Prajapati as the Chandra Devata is the one now who is entering all the beings either through water or through oshadhis or through food, plant-based food. Enters and then he pervades everybody. On Amavasyam Ratrim Avasthaya, okay, on this night of Amavasya, Prajapati enters everybody and is present there. Tataha aparedyuhu pratarjayate. Later what? Thereafter, the next day, he is again born. How? Along with the second kala, because the Prathama starts. After the Prathama Tithi comes, along with that one more kala, the second kala comes, because permanent 16th kala. With second kala, this Prajapati is again born. Dvitiya kalaya sanyuktaha, being connected with the second kala. Prajapati is born the next day. He comes. Okay, so evam panktatmakaha asau Prajapati. So from all these things, what do we understand? Prajapati also is panktatma. Means Prajapati also is having these 5 factors. How? So Bhashyakara is now explaining that. So this whole thing, the meaning of this Vakya itself, in the introduction he said, is only to show that Prajapati also is having these 5 factors. Therefore, we can say the cause, also the karma which the jiva is doing, the cause of Prajapati is also having 5 factors, and the effect also has 5 factors, to show that only. So now Bhashyakara is showing that. How? So he says, Divadityo Manah Pita. Okay, so because the Pankta, what is the Pankta? Pita, Jaya, Praja, okay, Vittam. So these are all the 5 things which make up the karma. In that Daivi Vittam, Manushi Vittam and all we talk about. 5 things are there. So here also those 5 things are being shown here. Okay, how? So he says Prajapati itself, Prajapati is the totality of Vak, Manas and Prana, correct? But Vak, Manas and Prana have been already shown in a certain way, correct? The Manas has been shown as Pita. If you go back, you can see that. So Manas is also shown as the Devaloka and Aditya Devata and also as Pita. Similarly, Vak has been shown as Prithvi, Agni Devata and also Mata, mother. Mata is the wife of Pita anyway, so Jaya. Originally in the Pankta, we said that Jaya also is there, because Jaya me syat and all like that only it starts. See, Jaya me syat, Atha Prajaya, Atha me syat, Atha karma kurviya. Like this. This is the Vakya which is Bhashyakara is quoting now from 1417. Okay, those things are there in the Prajapati also here, and Prana is the Praja in this case. So Tayoscha Pranaha. So there was a Vakya here saying that from Manas and Vak only this Prana is born. So Prana has been shown as the Praja. So these 3 factors are there. Then what? Then what about Vittam? So Bhashyakara is now showing Vittam, wealth also increases and decreases, it seems. Like our stock market only, correct? One day it is going through the roof. Next day bubble, it has crashed. All that, only notional income is going up and down for some. Okay, like that, wealth can come, wealth can go. Similarly here, this Tithi also is like that, correct? It keeps on increasing, then decreasing, waxing, waning. So wealth is equivalent to, wealth also is there, this kalas. They keep increasing or they decrease. That's what Chandramasyaha Titayaha Kala Vittam. So this Kala Prajapati who was shown as having these 16 kalas, of which the 15 kalas are the Vittam or wealth. They increase and they keep decreasing, again increase, again decrease. So Upachaya, Apachaya, Dharmitva, Vittavat. So like even the wealth, these kalas, 15 kalas, increase and decrease. Okay. Tasancha kalanam kala kala avayavanam jagat parinama hetutvam karma, and karma also is there. How? Because these kalas represent time and time represents change. Correct? Jagat parinama hetutvam, and change is nothing but activity or karma. Correct? So time itself we can only measure in terms of some change. I think internationally in Paris or somewhere they have some atomic clock that is supposed to be the timekeeper for all of us now. In olden days they had something else, but even that is some kind of a change only is measured there. Okay. So time means change, change means activity, that means karma, kriya. So jagat parinama hetutvam karma also is there now, because these kalas represent time. Therefore, all these five, Prajapati also has these five. So, evam yeshaha kritsnaha Prajapati. So, this Prajapati in this manner is complete. Okay, he has all these five factors. And that Bhashyakara is now showing you. Jaya me syat, atha praja yeya, atha vittam me syat, atha karma kurviya. Iti yeshana anurupaha eva panktasya karmanaha palabhutaha samvrittaha. So this Prajapati, how did this Prajapati come about? Because the Jiva and Jiva's desire, yeshana anurupaha means Prajapati has come as an effect in keeping with the desire of the Jiva. And this Jiva desired and then did karma, which has five factors. And that phala of that karma only, palabhutaha, karmanaha palabhutaha means the Prajapati itself, himself, okay, has been gained as the result of this karma. And because karma which is panktaha is the karana, Prajapati who is the karya also is pankta. That's what Bhashyakara is saying here. Karana anuvidhayihi karyamiti lokepi sthitihi. So in general, in the world also we see that karana anuvidhayi means whatever characteristics are there in the karana, they continue in the karya. The karya is in keeping with the karana. Okay. So that has been shown here. So yasmad yeshaha chandraha etam ratrim sarva pranijatam anupravishtaha dhruvaya kalaya vartate tasmad hetoho etam amavasyam ratrim pranabritaha praninaha pranam na vichhindyat praninam na pramapayed ityetat api krikalasasya krikahi papatma स्वभावे नैव हिंस्यते प्राणिभिः दृष्टः अपि अमंगलः इति कृत्वा. Okay, so now this part Bhashyakara is commenting. What? Pranam na vichhindyat api krikalasasya. This part is now giving commentary. So what is he saying? Because Prajapati in the form of Chandra on the Amavasya night has entered all the pranis, all the living beings with his permanent kala, the 16th kala, and he is present. Because of that, what? On this Amavasya night, you do not kill anybody, na pramapayet, na vichhindyat, means you do not take away the life of any living being, even including also the krikalasasya, even of a chameleon. Why? Because chameleon, krikalasaha, he papatma, Bhashyakara says. Krikala is considered to be a papatma, is representative of a birth due to papa. It is looked upon as an inauspicious thing also. Amangalaha also. Drishtaha api amangalaha. Chameleon, seeing a chameleon itself is considered to be inauspicious by everybody. Therefore, what naturally what do the people do? Himsyate pranibihi, by the other pranis, by other living beings, this chameleon is killed or attacked at least. And chameleon is a papatma, like this Bhashyakara says. But even that chameleon you should not kill on Amavasya. Like this, specially Upanishad is instructing. Now one person is raising a doubt, interesting doubt. He says, Ahimsa is anyway talked about by the Veda, and Prani Himsa is already prohibited in general. Okay, so then why should the Upanishad specially talk about here? This is superfluous. Like this, one person is raising a doubt. Okay, so Nanu, normally one guy has raised his hand. Nanu means, what is this? He says, Pratisiddha eva prani himsa. So, any affliction or any violence against any being is already prohibited by the Veda. Where he is quoting now, Ahimsan sarva bhutani anyatra tirtebhyaha iti. Now, this is actually Chandogya Upanishad. This is Chandogya Upanishad, 8th chapter, 15th Brahmana, first verse. In fact, that Brahmana has only one verse. This is the last Vakya of Chandogya Upanishad, really, because Chandogya has only 8 chapters. First 5 chapters are all mostly Upasana and all that. 6, 7, 8 are very much Vedanta. So even when we studied with our Guruji, normally, because Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka and all huge, correct? It's not easy to cover. So we studied the 6, 7 and 8, but independently we have studied the entire Chandogya also. So here, what does it say? Sarva bhutani ahimsan means don't do himsa to any living being. That is the advice. This is a general advice to everybody. But there is a question comes. Okay. In fact, this Chandogya Bhashya, if you read, Bhashyakara himself raises a question. What is that question? The very fact that we are eating and living and even roaming around, correct? We are killing so many things. Himsa is essentially unavoidable, even though there are some people like Jains are all there. They go to extreme levels to keep up ahimsa, which is a good thing. Correct. So what do the Jain Munis and all what they do? They put one, they are always with masks. Okay. During Corona time, they are the best. Why? The Jain Muni and all, they always put a mask. Why? Because they don't want to inhale by mistake any insect and all that, or even mosquito. Sometimes mosquitoes and all go into your nose and then they die, or even small insects can go. Okay. So they want to avoid that. And then what, they keep on sweeping the road while walking. Why? Because they do not want to step on ants or these small beings. So they take all this care. Then what about eating? Even if you eat rice, you are killing, because rice also is a potential seed, correct? It is a seed. It is a himsa only. In fact, if you talk about vegetarianism, some hardcore non-vegetarian people are there. They will say even plant you are killing. Okay. So you don't have any answer then. Of course, we can still say that plants do not have the same level of nervous system, and so it's not comparable with killing animals for food and all that. Okay. But we need not go to all that level. If somebody is a Shraddha, has Shraddha in Shastra, then we go by whatever Shastra says. Okay. For others, anyway, you cannot convince somebody. So don't even argue with useless people. Is that clear? With social media now, this has become a problem. Everybody is arguing with everybody else, and they lose their own peace of mind. And sometimes you make others lose their peace of mind also. Anyway, so here the if you want to be totally ahimsavadi, still it is not possible, because you are cooking means what? Then you are using firewood in those days. Within the firewood only there are so many insects can be there. While cooking only you are killing so many animals. So what do you do? What about microbes and all? So even if you are a Jain, some Jain munis are extreme. They only eat fruits and throw away the seeds. They do not eat any seeds. They do not eat any plant which is growing underneath the ground, like potato and all that, because then you have to kill the plant to take that potato, correct? So that also they want to avoid. So they do not eat anything which grows underground. Even whatever grows overground, they won't eat the seed. So you can live a life like that, which is a life of, it's an alert life, I will say, and life a sensitive life also, which is okay, which is a good thing. But again, it can become impractical also, correct? Many times it can become a botheration for others. You can become a problem for others. Like even one somebody, I think Sarojini Naidu or somebody said it took a lot of money to keep Gandhi ji poor, something like that. She made a statement, okay, like that. So here we have to have ahimsa. There is no doubt about that. As much as possible, do not hurt anybody physically or any other way. So ahimsan sarva bhutani. But Shastra also says anyatra tirthebhyaha. This is an interesting thing, correct? Other than wherever it is permitted by the Shastra itself. Tirtham means here what? This again we have to go to only Bhashyakara. Otherwise, Tirtha word, we do not know the meaning. So Bhashyakara says, Tirtham nama Shastra Anujna Vishayaha. Like that he writes in the Chandogya Bhashya. Shastra Anujna Vishayaha means what? Wherever the Shastra itself has prescribed something, there you do not talk about himsa, himsa and all that. Is it clear? In general, ahimsa is paramo dharma. There is no doubt about that. That also is said in the Mahabharata, in so many other shastras. Even Manu makes an explicit statement. Okay, he says very interesting Manu quotation is there. What is that? Ya Veda Vihita Himsa Niyatan Asmin Charachare Ahimsa Meva Tam Vidyat Vedat Dharmo Hi Nirbabhav. Like that, there's a Manu verse is there. So whatever is prescribed by the Veda, even if it is Himsa, that has to be considered as Ahimsa only. Like that Manu is saying. Because we know all the Dharma only from the Veda. Veda is the Dharma Mula. So when the Veda is prescribing something, so Veda says Oshadibhyaha Annam. Food is only from Oshadhi, some from plants. Means then you don't go and argue plant. Why are you doing harvest of plant? Why are you eating the seed? That is also life. Means we cannot go to that level. Is it clear? Just living only you are killing so many things. You cannot avoid certain things. So this ahimsa also, ahimsa is a samanya dharma, universal value, no doubt about that. But wherever Shastra has said us to do something, there we have to do it. Wherever it is your duty, you do that. You do not talk about ahimsa there. A soldier cannot talk about ahimsa. If you are a kshatriya and you are fighting a war, war also is only ahimsa for you. Is it clear? Or another big argument is there, correct? You will see. Because some yajnas are all Pashubali is there. Okay. Niruda Pashubandha and all is there. Part of the name itself is there. So Kratu, like that. So wherever this Yupa is there, Yupa means you have to have a pole where they tie the animal before they sacrifice it. So animal sacrifice is there in Vedic yajnas. There you cannot talk about himsa. Okay. In fact, even like 400, 500 years back, this one Ape Dikshita was there, a great great, one of the links in our Guru Parampara, great person. So he was not only a Vedanti, Advaiti, but he also was a great Mimamsaka. He has written books on all topics. So he did a yaga where they sacrificed horses and all that in Kanchipuram. There even now they mentioned that everybody, including the king and all, they saw, it seems. The horses were thanking to be made part of that. Like that they say, again, if you believe that, you believe it. Otherwise, you can say that it's all nonsense. Okay. But there is, even in, what is said there is, even Appaya was little bit apprehensive about doing it because he thought it is himsa. But then he himself was later on, after doing that karma, he was able to see that the horses were thanking him because they were going to Swarga, because they were part of that particular yajna or the fire ritual. So it is like that. Then he became okay with that. But some people are there, some madhvas are all very particular. So they don't use the real animal, but they still make with flour, rice flour or whatever, like an animal pratima, a symbol. But there also they have to do prana pratishta and then do the sacrifice. Okay, still you have to you have to invoke life into that, and then only they are doing. But that is all whether it is as per Shastra only, there is discussion is there. So we don't have to go into that. Generally, what here the rule is what? Ahimsa sarva bhutani is there. Already you have to have ahimsa with reference to all living beings, except where it is allowed by the Shastra itself. Anyatra tirtebhyaha iti. So this pratisiddha is there already with reference to prani himsa. So with reference to doing violence or hurting living beings, already it has been prohibited here. So why this special talk about Amavasya and all that? Like this fellow is objecting. So Bhashyakara says, Badham Pratisiddha, yes, this prohibition is there. I agree. Even then what? Tatapi na Amavasyayaha Anyatra Prasavartam Vachanam Himsayaha Krikalasa Vishayaha va. Okay, so general this prohibition is there, but this is special because this is only talking about Amavasya. Okay, and also with reference to this chameleon also it talks about, correct, especially api krikalasasya. So this prohibition is only with reference to Amavasya. This is a special prohibition on Amavasya night, and also even with reference to chameleon, because otherwise this general prohibition also gives you an exception saying whatever is said by the Shastra you can still do. Okay, but what about this Krikalasaha? The chameleon you may still kill, and even Shastra means sometimes we take whatever is traditionally done also is allowed. But even that is now prohibited specially, and particularly on Amavasya also it is prohibiting. Therefore what? This is something special, particularly with reference to Amavasya, and also even with reference to things like chameleons, which are considered to be inauspicious and people generally kill it. Even that you should not do. This is specially prohibited. And why it is prohibited like that? Because also as a way of worshipping this Chandra Devata or Prajapati who has entered in the form of Chandra Devata into all the beings. So that's what Bhashyakara says finally. Kim tarhi etasyaha Somadevatayaha apachityai pujartham. So specifically this special prohibition, even though this general prohibition also applies even on Amavasya day, but this has been specially mentioned here with reference to this Soma Devata as a form of worshipping this Soma Devata and praising this Soma Devata only. this prohibition has been given. So there is no problem. We have to consider it like that. Okay, now what further? So this Prajapati about whom we talked about, this Prajapati is Paroksha. We cannot see this Prajapati. This only Shastra is talking about that. Then can we see the Prajapati really? Who is the Pratyaksha Prajapati? That person we cannot see nowadays, but anyway, we'll see what it says. Yo vai sa samvatsaraha Prajapati Shodasha Kalaha Ayameva sa yaha Ayameva with Ayam evam with Purushaha Tasya Vittameva Panchadasha Kala Atmaiva Asya Shodashi Kala Sa Vitte Naiva Acha Puryate Apachakshiyate. Okay, so now whoever we talked about as the Prajapati, who is in the form of this Samvatsara or year, okay, and who has, and who is that? That Prajapati we can see even in this world, the one who does Upasana, Ahangraha Upasana, this is called, okay. So Idangraha Upasana, Ahangraha Upasana, like that, two types of Upasana are talked about in our Veda. So Shalagrame Vishnum Dhyayami, or even in any of our temple puja and all is Idangraha Upasana. Because what we say, Asmin Bimbe Virajamanam Sam Devata Dhyayami, Avahayami, Asanam Samarpayami, all that we do puja. Correct? That is all Idam Graha Upasana. Sampat Upasana also it is called sometimes. But Ahangraha Upasana means you invoke the Devata in yourself. Okay. So here the person who is doing Ahangraha Upasana, I am the Prajapati, like that. Invoking Prajapati on oneself and you do the Upasana, you do the Dhanam. That person itself is the Prajapati. Okay, like that. Now, Pratyaksha Prajapati, that person. Whoever does this Prajapati Upasana, that person is a Pratyaksha Prajapati. And he also has Shodasha Kala. Like that Upanishad says now. Okay. So Saha Yaha I am Evam with. So one who does this Upasana in this manner of the Prajapati, like Upasana as Prajapati also has 16 kalas, and that Prajapati is not separate from me, like that. Evam with Purushaha. And for that person what? Tasya Vittameva Panchadasha Kalaha. So for that person, his own wealth is the 15 kalas or 15 digits or parts. And so like the digits of the or the parts of the moon which keep waxing and waning, wealth also you can accumulate wealth and you can lose it also, correct? And what is the permanent 16th kala? Atmaiva asya shodashi kala. Atmaiva, here Atma is the body. Body alone is the 16th, which is always there. Whether you have wealth or not, you have body. And this body and this person what? Sa vitte naiva cha puryate apakshiyate, like even Prajapati in the form of moon, he grows and he declines with the tithis. Here with wealth only, this person also is growing. Even physically, if you take the body, you have wealth, means you are eating well, you are putting on weight. You don't have any wealth, you cannot even eat 2 square meals, means you are declining, correct? So, vittayinevacha apuryate apakshiyate tad etad nabhyam yad ayam atma pradhihi vittam tasmad yadyadi tasmad yadapi sarvajyanim jiyata atmana chet jivati pradhi nagadityeva ahuhu. Okay, so now Upanishad is giving an interesting analogy of the hub and spokes and the rim and all that. analogy of a wheel. So what it says is, you have the hub. Hub is like your Atma, the body. The spokes and the outer rim are all like the wealth, Vittam. Now, if the hub is not there, there is no wheel. Wheel cannot function. But even if the spokes and outer rims are all gone, you can, even if the hub is still there, then the wheel can again be made, because it is only the external parts. Those things can be again, you can get it. Something like that is giving one analogy here. So Nabhyam yad ayam Atma. So this Atma, this body is like the hub, or it is fit to be the hub. Nabhyam means Nabhim Arhati, like that Bhashyakara says. So this Atma is fit to be like the hub, and Pradihi means all this the spokes and the rim, outer rims. Okay. So for a wheel, if you take, the spokes and the outer rim are the other 15 kalas. The hub is the Atma, the Dhruva, which is always there, the center. Therefore, even if you lose everything, all your wealth, Tasmad, Yadyapi Sarvajyanim Jiyata Atmana Chet Jivati. So, even though you lose everything, all your wealth, but if you have your body, you have a healthy body, let us say, then you can again win back everything. Correct? Like even if you lose a spoke or a rim also, you can replace it, because they are all only the outer covering, like they are all external things. So this kind of an analogy is given. So from this, what you have to take care of your body. Health is wealth. Otherwise, what happens? Initially, you go after wealth without taking care of your health. This our Swami Paramarthananda used to say this. Then what? Later on, you spend all your wealth to get back your health. Finally, you lose both your health and wealth in the process. Like that he used to say. So here also, somewhat, this Atma is important. Wealth will come, wealth will go. It is all like, or even it all depends on your, every 30 years, Shani will come back. Correct? So nobody has either all, like they have lived highs only or lows only forever. Correct? High and low will come. That's how it is in life. But you have to take care of yourself always. Okay. So now let us quickly see what Bhashyakara says. Yo vai paroksha abhihitaha samvatsaraha prajapatihi shodashakalaha sa naiva atyantam parokshaha mantavyaha. So he says, see, when we talk about this Prajapati as a devata, you are not able to see that devata here, correct? Only the because of the Shraddha in the Veda, we are accepting that. It is paroksha only, it is indirect knowledge. But you should not think that it is totally indirect, or atyantam parokshaha mantavyaha na. Do not think that it is totally paroksha, or you cannot really, paroksha means which is beyond your vision or knowledge, normal direct knowledge. Do not think like that. Why? Because what? Ayasmad ayameva sab pratyakshaha upalabhyate. So that Prajapati is available for you for direct knowledge also. Pratyaksha. Okay, who is that then? Ko asau ayam. So who is this Prajapati who is available for me to know directly? That Bhashyakara says, Yo yatoktam trayannatmakam prajapatim atmabhutam veti. So the one who knows this Prajapati, who is in the form of these three annas, Vak, Manas and Prana, as oneself. The one who knows means one who does upasana here. Okay, this Vetti. See, this Vidya word is again comes in two contexts in the Upanishads. Vidya is also upasana because both, even in upasana, you are visualizing. That is also manovritti only, correct? It is all your mind. It's a state of mind. And knowledge also, cognition also is a state of mind only. It is a vritti, manovritti only. Both being sama are equivalent that way. The word vidya is used freely. In fact, because of this only, the Vishistadvaitins and all, wherever it says Brahma Vida Apnoti Param, like that is that Brahma Vida Apnoti Param. Now, Brahma with the knower of Brahman gains limitless Param, let us say. The Advaitin will interpret it in one way. There, Brahmavid means the knower of Brahman, we say. But what does the Dvaiti and the Vishishtadvaiti and all these people say? Vitt means there, Brahma Upasakaha, the one who does Upasana. They will say Ahangraha Upasana also. Vishishtadvaitin will say, but it is said Aham Brahmasmi is there. Even in this Upanishad, Aham Brahmasmi we saw. But Aham Brahmasmi also is only Ahangraha Upasana, like that they will say. So wherever all these Mahavakyas are coming, which are all equations, they reduce it to only visualization. But then how can we gain this limitless as a karma phala? This point is still there, correct? This is a jarring logical fallacy there. That's what Bhashyakara will point out also in many places. We'll see that. So here, anyway, so what we are seeing here is the one who does upasana of this Prajapati as oneself, that person is a Pratyaksha Prajapati. Okay. So evam with Purushaha, the person who does upasana of Prajapati as himself is the Pratyaksha Prajapati. Kena samanyena Prajapati. So how can you say person who upasana also is Prajapati? Because that person also has 16 kalas. That's what Bhashyakara knows. See, tasya evam vidaha purushasya gavadi vittameva panchadasha kalaha. So this person also who is doing this Prajapati Upasana, for that person wealth is there in the form of cows and all that. So in those days, even in Tamil we say, whenever we talk about wealth, we talk about A Nirai and all that. A means cow. So even Bhashyakara says Gavadi Vittam. So wealth itself was measured in terms of cows only in those days. Because cows products were the only thing which were useful for doing all this Vaidika karma, and wealth itself was only with reference to your ability to do all this karma. That's how they looked at it. It was only a sadhana. It was not an end in itself. It's only a means. So these 15 factors or parts are the wealth, whatever wealth you have. And that can, again, that also, the wealth also is upachaya, apachaya, dharmitva. And with that wealth, you can do karma, vitta sadhyamcha karma. Okay, so this person also has this Shodasha Kalas, therefore he is the Pratyaksha Prajapati, like that. And in that, the Dhruvam, the body itself or Atma is called Pinda here. Bhashyakara says Pinda means his individual body itself is the 16th one, because it is always there. Even though the wealth can decrease and increase and all that, as the 16th part, this permanent body is there always, permanent part. Dhruvasthaniya. And similar this, like the Prajapati in the form of Chandra is increasing and decreasing based on the fortnight. Similarly, even in this loka, this person's wealth also increases and decreases. So like this, there is a similarity. Therefore, this person who does this upasana is the Prajapati, like that we can take. So like this, Bhashyakara is giving Bhashya. We'll continue this. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।